गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स। आज हम सेल्सफोर्स डेवलपर के कुछ क्वेश्चन देखते हैं जो कि इंटरव्यू के लिए बेनिफिट रहेगा। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, हाउ यू आईडी कंट्रोल द परमिशन थॉट each of the following profiles: object level controls, role, records, access, thought, hierarchy. Permission set, open up access to object and records, sharing rules, record level access, thought manual, and apex sharings. Next questions, how will you prevent as a set of users from assigning specific fields using profile by removing fields assemblability to the profiles? Next question, what is a field set? Grouping of the multiple fields is now as a field set. It can be used in Visualforce page by looping up over the set. Next question, what is a who ID and what ID in Salesforce? Who ID refers to people's things. What ID refers to object things. Next questions, explain the community and site in the Salesforce. Using the community, we can create a branded website for the customers, employees. Using the site, we can create a public web page for the external users. Next questions. Explain Salesforce order of executions. The records is loaded from of the database. The new records field the value are loaded all before the triggers execute system validations. The record is saved to the database, but not yet the committed. All after the triggers execute, assignment rules execute, auto response rules execute, workflow rules. If there are the workflow feeds as an update, the records is updated into the again. Escalation rules, all DML operations, post commit logic, the executions, Sincero based. Next questions. Explain bucket feeds. To categorize records in the reports, we can use two bucket fields. Next question, which reports type are available in the data dashboards, matrix, summary, and tabulars? Next question, explain the dynamic dashboards. Dynamic dashboards are the user based the dashboards content will be changed as a per user access. Next questions, how to bypass validation rules during the data loads by using a dummy checkbox and triggers. Next question, under what sensor recursions will be happening in the triggers and how will you the overcome? Recursion will happen when we are trying to update some records multiple times in the single transaction. We can overcome it by using the Boolean checks. Next question, why do we need the batch apex? Batch apex is one of the isons of using the batch apex. We can observe delete multiple records without the affecting the heap size. Next questions, when to use public class and when to use global class. By using the public keywords, the class can be the assembled throughout the app. By using global keywords, the class can be the assembled throughout the org. Explain with sharing and without sharing keywords. With sharing keywords is used to enforce security OWD access. Without the sharing keywords is used to allow the app to run without any OWD restrictions. How do we schedule the batch apex? Using apex schedules and schedulable class. Next question, how to call an apex methods in the JavaScript code using under at the rate remote actions. Next question, explain the static fields and the other scope. Static fields will utilize only one and has scope of the class. Next questions, explain the difference between the triggers.new and triggers.new map. triggers.new and returns the list of the latest records. Triggers.new map contain the records ID. Next questions. Design pattern used in Apex. Single tone strategy, decorator, shade, and composite bulk state transactions. Next question, how will you achieve paginations in the SQL using the offset Visualforce? Next question, explain the actions function, action reason, and action the support. Action function is used to call Apex methods from the GS. Action support is used to the call Apex methods and event like the one click on our it. Action design is used to when a job's request is a call, only the actions design will be executed during this request. Next questions. Explain the action the polars. Action polars is used to the achieve the Ajax functionality is the Visualforce page. Next question, explain the virus type of the controllers, standard and custom controllers. Next questions, explain the view state. View state is the state of the Visualforce page. It is a limit is a 135K. Next question, what is a Visualforce compound? Visualforce compounds is used to the invoke a set of the functionality inside of your page using the Apex compounds attribute. We can the invoke of Visualforce compound. Next questions. I want to the overcome Visualforce page of the PDF. How to achieve it? By making render as PDF to the true and Apex page attribute. How will you to create a pie chart in the Visualforce page using the Apex chart attribute? Next questions. What is the difference between the database and page block tables? Page block tables can be the invoke only inside page block. Data tables can be invoke anywhere if Visualforce page. Next question, how will you call on Visualforce page from the another Visualforce page using the Apex dot include the attribute integrations? Next question, different between the REST and SOAP. REST is a usually coupled and be used to frequent transactions. SOAP is a tightly the couple and be used to for the bulk transactions. Next, partners as a enterprise WSDL partner WSDL is static and loosely bind. Enterprise WSDL is mainly for the customers and tightly bind. Next question: how do you write a test class for the OS using the HTTP follow the MOOC interface Lightning? What is the architecture of the Lightning experience event and trial the architectures? Next question: it is possible to the refer external style and script in the Lightning? How? Yes, using the into the requirement and tags. Explain the Lightning app builders. How to will we make sure that is you are the Lightning components and available in the app builders. Using the exit page available force record the page interface, we can available components in app builders. App builders is used to create the Lightning application is a declarative. Yes, using the and or enabled enabled. Next question. Can be built and execute Apex and controller with Lightning components? Sorry. Next question. What is the app in Salesforce? App is a group of tabs that is work as a unit and provide the functionality. User can be switch between app using the force.com app or drop down the menu at a right corner of the every page. You can customize the exiting apps to the match the way to work and build new app in grouping, standard and the custom tabs. Navigation to create app in Salesforce setup, build create app in clicking on the new create app use application according to your the requirement. What is the object in the Salesforce? Custom object are the database tables that is allow you to store data and specific to your organization in the salesforce.com. You can use custom object in external salesforce.com's functionality to or build new the application and functionality. Once you have a create to custom object, you can create and custom tabs, customer related list and reports and dashboards for the users into the interact with the custom object data. You can also the access custom object data and thought the force.com API. Navigation to the create the object in Salesforce setup build and create object and click on of the new object and the create object and according your the requirement. Next questions. How many the relationship include the in SFDC and what are they? We are the having for the type of the relationship. They are lookup relationship, master data relationship, many to many, hierarchy relationship. Next questions. What is the lookup relationship? This type of the relationship linked to the object and together up to the 25 allowed for the object. Parents is not required fields. No impact on the security and the access. No impact on the deletions. Can be the multiply layer the deep the lookup fields is not the required. Next questions. What is the master details relationship? Master details relationship is a parents child and relationship in the which of master represent and parents and details represent childs. If parent is a delete, then child also the gate delete and roll up summary fields can be only be the create on the master records, which will be calculate the sum ABG and mean of the child's records. Up to the to allow to object and parents fields of the child's and required access to parents and determine and access to children's determine parents and automatically delete childs. Childs of the master data's relationship cannot be the parents of another lookup fields one page layout and is a requirement. Next question, how can I create the many to many relationship? Lookup and master data relationship are one to the many relationship. We can the create many to many relationship by the using the junction object, and junction object is a custom object with two type master data relationship. Next questions. Custom object contains some of the records. Now many requirement is not create the fields is not is in this object with of the master data relationship can be create the master data relationship in this case. No, directly we can create the master data relationship. It is a custom object contain exiting in records. Following the R step to create master details relationship when the records are available in the custom object. First create first create fields with the lookup relationship and then the associate lookup fields and parents record for the every records. Next change the data type of the fields from the lookup master details. Next questions. List example for the custom fields and text pick list multiply select and date emails date and time currency checks box numbers phones URL text area lookup relationship master details relationship. What is a tab in Salesforce? Tab is a user and interface compound to user the create to display custom object data. There are the three type of the tabs: custom tabs, Visualforce tab, and web tab. Next questions. Can a user create the insert their one custom logo with creating their one of custom applications? Yes, user can be upload their customer logo in document and then we can choose the logo for the organization. Next question, list thing that can be customized on page layouts. We can customize different things in on page layout like feeds, button and custom. link and the related list. We can also create the sections and Salesforce developer intro. Sorry. And what is next question? What is the what is the self relationship? Self relationship is a lookup relationship to the sum object and support the take on take and the object merchant. Here we can create the relationship in the between the account to the account sum object. That is a called self relationship. Next question: what are the main things need to consider in the master data relationship? Records level access is determined by the parents mandatory on child's and reference of parents. Cascade delete if you are the delete two parents, it can be cascade delete the childs. Next questions. What is the difference between the triggers and workflow? Workflow is automated the process that is a fire and an action based on the evaluation, the criteria and the rules criteria. We can access the workflow and access to an object. We can perform the DML operation is a workflow. We can the query from the database triggers is a piece. Sorry. Uh, uh, we can then perform the DML operation on workflow. We can auto query from the database. Triggers is a piece of the code that is executed before and after records insert and updated. We can the access to triggers access to object and the related to that is object. We can use and 20 DML operation is one of the triggers. We can use to 20 SQL from the database in the triggers. Next question: what is a wrapper? The class. A wrapper class is a class in whose instant are the collection of the other object. It is used to display different object on of the user first page is a some tables. First into triggers questions. What is the difference between the SQL and SQL? And SQL self object query languages. Using SQL, we can search only one of the object at a time. We can query on the fields and the data types. We can use to SQL is the triggers and class. We can perform the DML operation is a query result. SQL and Salesforce object in search language. Using this is SOSL, we can search on many objects at a time. We can query only all the fields and move whose data type of the text, phone, emails. We can use in the classes, but not the triggers. We cannot the platform DML operation on the search result. Next questions: what is the different insert and database insert? Use what is the different insert and database insert? Using the insert methods, we cannot insert B records, but if any errors occurs in any record system will be allowed. Here is transactions, fields and none of the records and insert. If we want to execute practically in success to bulk insert operation, we will be used to database. Next questions. What are the static resource? Using the static resource, we can upload matching zip files, jar files, JavaScript, and CSS files that can be referred in the Visualforce page. The maximum size of the static resource for the organization is 25 MB. How to delete JavaScript using the static resource in the Visualforce page and add JavaScript files and static resources. Resource setup, develop static resource entry on the new the file name. Sorry, file name and add to file name, local the desktop and save. We can use to the that files as a follow is a Visualforce page. Apex include the script value and this is file name. Next question, what is the sharing rules? If we want to give an access to the other users, we can the sharing rules and Salesforce available into. Okay. How many way to are the share records and so on role hierarchy? If we add two users to the above the role hierarchy, we'll have a rich read access setup manage users roles setup the roles. Click on the add role and provide the name and the save. OWD defined as a base list setting organization defined as a level access to the user and see that is all the records. OWD can be the private public read only public read write setup security control sharing rules click on edit and manual sharings is a single record to single users group and users. We can see this button the details of the records and this visible only when the OWD setting provide the criteria because based the sharing rules. If we want to the share records based condition like the sharing records to group of users and whose criteria are the country is India. Set up secretary control and sharing setting, select the object and the provide the name and controlling the save. And Apex sharings, uh, share the object and available for the every object. For the account object, share the object and account shares. If you want to the share this records is in the Apex, we have to create record and record to the object. Next question, what are the action in the workflow? Email alert task, if it's update outbound messages. How next question, how many way we can the made feeds and is required. Will creation of the feeds, validation rules, page layout levels. What is the difference between the roles and the profiles? Role is a records level the access as a is not of the mandatory for all the users. Profile is a object level and a fields level access and mandatory for the all users. Next questions. What is the difference between the action and support and the action the functions? Action function invoke the controller methods JavaScript using the Ajax and we can the actions use action the function from the different place and visual force page. Action support the invoke the controller the methods and Ajax with when you on the user's page like the mouse over click on the one click and we cannot the action to support the of for particular single apex compounds. Next question, how many way to can call in apex class? Visual post page, web service, triggers, and event service. Next question, how to create the master data relationship between the exiting the records. Directly, we can create the master data relationship between the exiting record. First, we have to the create lookup relationship and provide validate the lookup relationship and the should be have null. Next question, what is a permission set? Permission set extend the user and functional access the without the changing the user and profiles. Example, user has only read and access thought the profile and custom object administration want to the give access, edit and create operation to the him changing the profiles annotations create of the permission set as having edit and create operations custom object and the assigning to users. Salesforce next question, what is the manual sharings? Manual sharings is the share records of the particular user manually. Go to the details page of the records, click the manual sharings button and assign to records to other user with read write access. Manual sharing the button enable only when the OWD private the that is object. Next questions. What is the use to and transfer the records in the profiles? If user have only read access to particular record, but he want to the change the owner name and the records, then you profile the level the transfer records enable to can be able to the change the owners. Next questions, what is the field dependency field according the field selection of the fields filter pick up the value and other the fields. Next question is a box platform like the controlling fields. Yes, possible controlling fields should be checkbox of pick list. How many fields dependence we can use to Visualforce page? A maximum we can use to 20 fields independent in Visualforce page. Next question was, what is the roll-up summary? Roll-up display that is count of the child's records and calculate the sum maximum minimum of files for the child's records. Next questions, what are the records type? Records type are the restrict the peak of the value and assign to the different page layout and different the records type. What is the audit trail? Audit trail provide the information or like all the recent setup change in then and the administration done to the organization. This can store the last 60-minute data. What are the report type? Four type of the report answers. First, tabular reports we can only display and grand total the files table forms. Summary reports, these are details from the of reports in which the grouping done based on the columns. Matrix report, it is a details from the reports in which the grouping done based out of the both row and columns. Joint reports, we can join the two or more reports in the single reports display in the form of the block. Next question is, what is a dashboard? Dashboard is a pictorial representation of the reports. We can add up to 20 reports in single dashboards. Thank you, friends.